This week's videos are sponsored by Acorns, the money app that makes it simple and cheap to make small yet significant investments. Citizens of the Reject Nation, we are here for what will be the most talked about finale in all of the Star Wars universe. Oh my goodness, and we got Michael joining in all the way from the Big Apple, thanks to his friend Sharon, by the way, who has been helping him set up, do all the audio and camera, because Michael has no knowledge on any of this crap. Sharon has been an absolute gem in this journey. Michael, how are you?
You know, I am so excited. It's my last night in New York. It's the last night of the Acolyte. I got to come back.
Last night of the Acolyte. We're going to do this right.
Yeah, it's the last night of the Acolyte. We're going to do it right. Is it light or dark? I don't know. It's going to be a fight. Okay.
All right,
Greg,
dope.
Are you excited for this finale? Is it going to be Sol talking?
I think no matter what happens, I'm just happy that we're here at the end. So with that in mind, guys, leave a dang like in this video. Subscribe and click that bell for some reason. Hey, Prepper, you've been doing a good job editing these. In spite of Michael's distance from the camera, he's willing to cooperate because Prepper's awesome. And hey, thanks to everyone who's enjoying our Patreon page. So we get the full interactive watch letter. You get to sync up with your own copy. It's like Michael and I are in the room with you, ruining the entire experience. Let's do it, Michael.
Yeah, I'm ready to be a shill one last time. So
let's do it. Star Wars theories freaking out right now.
Good, Anakin. Oh.
Whoa. Holy moly. Witch powers. A Jedi and a witch. All in one.
Oh, curious.
You really sold that physical struggle.
All right, that's pretty interesting.
Mae. Miss Mae. She had her hand outstretched. She was killing Sol.
Where is she?
Killing Sol.
She had a saber in her hand, but she didn't use it.
This is the future you saw. She can kill with no weapon.
I was wrong about her.
But the future isn't fixed.
Yeah, come on, haven't you seen the prequels?
I can still stop her.
He doesn't want you to stop her.
With what ship? I'm taking mine.
I'm going where exactly? I've seen where they are.
So we go together.
Taking the hobbits to Isengard. Why are they going together? Their whole dynamic is just, I don't know.
Where are we?
Brandok, I will contact Master Vanestra. The Jedi will meet us here.
If she gets out of these cuffs, that's a bunch of bullshit.
There is a version on this planet. Now that you and Osha are both alive, I can prove it.
Proof what?
That there's a virgins on the planet.
That murdering our mother was justified?
What happened to you?
Wasn't your fault.
To your coven was an accident.
If it was an accident, then why didn't you tell Osha?
All right, using a droid is a fair way to get out of that.
Why did you blame it on me?
You started that fire. You locked everyone in.
Because the Jedi invaded our home.
It was an actual accident.
Because of the four of you.
I thought you were finally admitting to everything.
It was right for us to intervene.
Sol.
My biggest regret is that I wasn't able to save you both. You and Osha are not twins.
You're one and the same.
You're not even sisters. You're...
Come on, man.
Learn this. Finally, a bit of exposition I want to hear, and one time Sol can't say it.
Learn to sense some shit.
Sniffy boy, come on.
Learn to use the Force once in a while, so.
See you now, Jedi.
Star Wars has hell. I feel like that's not the first time we've heard hell. I'm gonna get corrected on that.
Oh.
Was that a Jedi symbol? What was the symbol on the helmet there?
There's actual space stuff happening.
Space stuff in Star Wars?
It's unheard of.
Malarkey.
I wish this thing had a hyperdrive.
Oh, it's Old Republic symbol.
We're actually getting a chase sequence. Cool.
Cool. Hey, so that's where the budget went.
These can go above.
Yeah. All right.
Hey, this looks really cool.
Yeah, no, that's visually very appealing. Kind of feels like Star Fox.
Do a barrel roll. Oh my god. This reminds me of old Star Wars movies. Would you shoot her down?
She'll become more powerful than you could ever imagine. I have you now.
Yo,
What's his deal?
I guess he's on her side now. Oh, so he just killed them both.
Well, I didn't kill him, but... Why would she say Pip?
Because Pip is the
That
droid.
very... No, I know, but that feels very personal, you know?
Whoa.
Like, she's... You know what I mean?
It's a cool shot. Cool shots.
Very cool shot. That's not the planet. No, that's not the planet.
Now walk out of there without a scratch.
Coruscant.
They always have to tell us it's Coruscant.
Senator Raincourt's here to see you.
This
Where is
fucking
he?
guy.
I know. It's like a fucking weasel.
How is your stomach?
It's my head, actually, and I'm fine.
This guy looks really familiar.
I've heard some disturbing
Where,
things.
what is he from?
What have you heard?
That you are running a murder investigation without reporting it to the Senate.
That's disturbing indeed.
I have the authority to take independent action if there's no larger threat.
How can you know there is no larger threat?
All the victims were Jedi.
There are multiple victims?
I am very close to apprehending the suspect.
Is the suspect a Jedi?
Very close. Thank you for your concern.
Okay, so that theory is very true about who she really is.
I think the Jedi are a massive system of unchecked power, posing as a religion, a delusional cult that claims to control the uncontrollable.
Ooh.
We don't control the Force.
Not the Force, your emotions. You project an image of goodness and restraint, but it's only a matter of time before one of you snaps. And when, not if that happens, who will be strong enough to stop him?
Who says it has to be a him?
Certainly an opinion, and not one shared by the rest of the Senate.
The majority of my colleagues can't imagine a galaxy without the Jedi, and I can understand why.
This guy should have come into the show so much sooner.
Yep. That would have been very helpful.
This would have made it so much more interesting. Like, having that looming over the show would have been great.
Yeah, especially because he's not wrong.
I have reported your lack of transparency to Chancellor Drellick. He may invite you to a Senate tribunal for an update. I hope for your sake you have this suspect in custody. Good luck. Now, what is it you say?
May the
May the Force be with you.
May the Force be with you.
Ugh, all right. That was a little pricky.
I like it, though. I like how he said it so condescendingly.
It's good, though. It does kind of set the underlying political stakes that are at play here.
Yeah.
Which is what the show desperately needs.
And it gives you a better sense of where the Jedi are at this point in time.
And also why it's so precarious for them to tell the truth.
Yes. It would have helped a lot.
You should be trained. Would you ever consider?
No.
What the hell, Osha?
This is just way too casual for me.
No, it makes sense to be casual, you know? He just killed so many of her friends.
Yeah, right in front of her.
Last chance.
I'm not my sister.
You're definitely not. They made that deal without even thinking about it.
Like, I'm sorry. I see somebody naked one time. I'm not just going to be super chill that they murdered all my friends.
Depends on how good they look naked.
That's true. I mean, he has nice arms. Yeah, like...
What?
Whoa!
What? Holy shit. They are setting up season 2. Was that Darth Plagueis?
Hey, I have to collect my... I have to collect my thoughts. That is like... So, I mean this in the most polite way, but that is the most desperate plea for season 2 I've ever seen. But also like, oh, thank God.
But I need to get a message to him. It's urgent.
This is highly unorthodox, but I shall see what I can do.
We found Master Sol.
Where is he?
Brandok.
Dun dun dun.
Gather as many knights as you can without raising alarm.
You anticipate a confrontation?
Who is this guy? He's really just distracting me from this moment that I really need to not be distracted. I do really like these ship designs.
Okay, I can't wait for him to go master when he sees her.
There's no spaceport, but there's a landing site near our fortress. They're already there.
I was making quick headway.
Ooh. You gotta love a Force echo.
Or he's just remembering.
Do you remember what happened to the other mom?
No.
I don't either. I was trying to think about it. I was like, did she definitively die?
I think so.
Getting this elevator operational is the only way in, unless you want to climb.
Are you
You,
sure?
you seem so emotionless to coming back home. Oh my god, he's just been force projecting himself.
Unless he's connected to this convergence.
Oh, it must be actual echoes.
Oh, there's also a lot of dark magic there.
It's like echoes of the dead. Wow, the timing. You chose a very weird hiding spot. Damn. Can't imagine those horrors of coming back to that. Who do you think's gonna kill Sol?
Thank you for leading me to her. We make a great team.
This is such an interesting dynamic, these two.
Choreography's on point. Damn, it's good.
Yeah, they don't mess around. I think the Stranger has definitely been, choreography-wise, absolute highlight for me.
Woo! Oh, cool shot.
All right.
All right, all right, all right.
And we're back to the Matrix.
I will destroy you if I must.
From darkness into light. Oh,
Ah.
wow, little tiny one.
Dude, the Tonto Saber, I'm so here for it. Sick.
Oh, shit. This is an exciting fight. Damn!
I'm really enjoying the wire work.
The martial arts is good. I love it, man. Sol's embraced more of his darkness and he's able to put up a better fight.
Ooh. Oh, that's gonna hurt.
Be careful. Nice.
Sick.
Damn. Sol, you're pretty awesome. I love the story of that fight. He comes in so cocky. He's the one struggling.
Well, Sol's also let it all out now, which I think is probably helping him with a little bit of focus.
Yeah, coming into the acceptance of it.
All of this death, everything that happened here, all because you didn't want me to become a Jedi. Sol lied to you. He blamed me. Sol never blamed you.
Oh my god, this conversation again. Let's just tell the truth.
I could never learn to calm my negative emotions.
Okay, it's a little different.
My hatred of you, my grief over our mother. So I never became a Jedi.
Ah, never mind. That's good. I take it back.
Sol killed our mother. I saw it. He's lied to you. How could he teach you to control your negative emotions? He's the reason you have them.
And he couldn't even master his own negative emotions.
And he taught you to not hate him, not her. Oh, here comes the turn, if there is one. Yep.
Oh my god, it's like the greatest Jean-Claude Van Damme movies. Oh, traitors. Pip. Woo! The martial arts is really fun in this.
I appreciate them kind of taking their own,
Damn, this is like a Jean-Claude Van Damme fight with better choreography. The twin battles. Nice.
It's the duel of the twin flames. Great, Finestra.
Now you pay for what you've done. Oh, they're not here for me.
Good transitions.
This is so curious how this is going to go.
Damn, how does she disappear like that all the time?
I feel like Sol's going to end up not getting framed here, but I think he might be taking the fall. Oh.
Holy shit.
Oh, that's
yeah,
sick.
awesome.
Oh.
It's just a lightsaber? Okay.
Does it still work?
Oh, what's gonna happen? One of the sisters gonna show up? You're a real pain in the ass. You gotta be kidding me. Really?
Good, May. Feel your anger. It's the source of your pain. Strike him down.
That was a cool shot to see the Kyber crystal from there.
Says strike him down, your dream will be complete after. Oh, sorry, she has to come without a weapon.
No, I want him to confess what he did.
That's how you kill a Jedi.
I want him to face the High Council, the Senate, the Republic. I want him to pay for his crimes.
They all have to watch episode 7.
I did the right thing. I wanted to protect you both.
From what?
You are not twins.
Are
You and Osha are the same person.
one and the same.
I don't know how your mother did it.
How she did what?
She created life. I believe she used the Force to create you and Osha. Do you have any idea what kind of power that is?
Even the stranger's interested in this.
The history of the galaxy. Very few have been there.
Oh no, please don't.
You killed our mother.
Yes, I did.
Oh, I thought you'd be right behind him.
Yeah.
I thought the show was about to pull some bullshit.
Is that true?
I was protecting you. It was the right thing to do.
I'd give a little more context.
If it was the right thing to do, why didn't you tell the Jedi?
Without May, there was no proof you were created in this way.
Bars.
Why didn't you tell me?
They would have sent you away.
Damn, he's still rhyming.
You were too old to train. They never would have let you become a Jedi.
Oh, he's walking right into that saber.
Of course, I wanted to tell you so many times, but I couldn't.
Oh man, is she gonna give into the dark side?
I did everything because I love.
Who's the one choking? Is it Vanessa? Oh, it is her.
Stop talking.
Oh, she's gonna kill him. God damn it.
Oh.
It's turning red.
Never seen that in real time before.
He was all the evidence, though. He had all the answers.
Oh, now they just need to get off the planet.
She has become the Acolyte. Whoa.
Okay, that's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. That's a pretty badass moment, yeah.
Oh. Oh, it's totally her.
Yeah.
I know where they are. Follow me.
This guy.
Basil, you were right. What a relief.
And they brought him. If he doesn't die, I'm gonna lose it.
Osha, we need to leave.
So conflicted on this soul death.
Come with me. I know a way out.
There goes the soul of the show.
Almost every single theory has come true on the show.
We have to climb down there. You sure? Trust me.
Oh, that's how she got out originally. Well, at least they answered that mystery.
When I fell, I got sucked into the square tunnel. Come this way.
Oh, is he gonna stay behind and fight them all?
Hope so. He doesn't have a lightsaber.
Well, I feel like he could break a neck and get one pretty quick.
Should not have brought him here.
Get the twins. Get them now.
You two, search the premises. The rest of you set up a 5-click perimeter. They couldn't have gotten far.
Kind of bold to stay alone, but I guess that's what she wants.
I think she wants him to come out.
Well, that's confronting her past.
We've been setting up the whole season, Michael. What did you say?
You did all this when you were little?
I wonder.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're not going to let that happen. They're just going to wait.
That would be awesome. Anything to
I don't
create
know.
discourse, I'm down for it.
I feel like we'll get a light tease, and that's that. That he'll kill all those Jedi, and she'll find them, and that's that. And that's it.
I sat here and I waited.
Oh, the tree.
Sorry I didn't believe you. I'm sorry I started that fire. You are with me. I am with you. Who taught us that rhyme? I thought you made it up.
If I can find you, so can the Jedi.
That was actually a really good scene. I really believe that she's like, there's two people interacting.
And after everything, you put your faith in the Jedi. Osha, when they find out how powerful you are.
You will meet the same fate as our mother. What do we do? What do you want?
That is the question.
A second season.
Let my sister go and I will train with you. Are you sure? The Jedi will use me to find you.
Surprised that was her first response. Are you sure?
That guy looks more like a gopher than the gopher looks like.
Remove any trace of you or me permanently.
Oh, it's like C-3PO.
Don't do that.
Do it.
Do it.
I can't lose you again.
Oh, boy.
You're going to do what you were meant to do, and I won't stop you this time.
Become a Sith.
Wait.
You know, in light, that helmet looks huge on him.
And if there's a next season, she's gonna join the Jedi and fight against her sister, but then remember, and it's gonna be, yeah.
You are with me. I'm with you. Always one, born as two.
They knew the whole time.
As above sits the stars, and below lies the...
Wow.
I give you and you give.
What?
You give.
Oh, it's fading away. Reborn.
Don't move. Lay down any weapons that you have and surrender. You're under arrest.
What did I do?
Coruscant.
Yeah, I told you we're not getting the Sith Stranger. All right, are we gonna see Yoda? Oh, and she's gonna have Pip. It's gonna be a whole reverse. Yeah, we're gonna see Yoda. I can feel it. My bones.
Remove her restraints.
Leave us. Please sit, May.
Look at that outfit. Damn.
Yeah, right. It's High Republic at its finest.
You know why you're here.
They say I killed someone, but I don't remember.
What do you remember?
Fire. It destroyed my home. I'm seeing a man. He killed my mother.
Piecing it together.
Your last memory is from when you were 8 years old. That man who killed your mother was a Jedi. He was my friend. He was a kind, brilliant, compassionate man, and he did a terrible thing.
What did you whisper?
16 years ago, 4 Jedi were stationed on the planet Brendok. There, they discovered a force cult of witches.
Wow, everyone's hearing it.
A conflict ensued. There were many casualties. The Jedi conspired to keep their actions secret. Recently, when the truth threatened to come out, a rogue Jedi named Sol killed his accomplices to maintain the cover story.
Ah, she just keeps the lie going.
We wholly condemn the actions of Master Sol.
And where is Master Sol now?
He was found dead on Brendok at the scene of his original crime.
I believe he ended his own life.
Covering a whole bunch of...
Sol made a mistake he lived with for so long it twisted his mind. He justified every selfish step with the love he had for your sister.
Sister?
My sister?
Greg.
Does the name Osha mean anything?
Like the workplace violation?
The Jedi have failed you. I am going to make this right, but I need your help.
With what?
I need you to help me find someone.
Yeah.
Mic
Pupil
drop
of
it.
mine
There it is.
before he turned to evil.
Pupil of mine before he turned evil. They revealed it. Final prediction coming true. I love how she just reveals that to her. It was a pupil of mine. It's like, look at how that moment.
Before I turn to the dark side. A master and apprentice relationship, it just feels like an HR issue, you know? It's inherently not a great power dynamic there. Yoda.
Sorry to disturb you, Master. We need to talk.
That's funny. Where's the pop song?
Where's the what?
Where's the pop song?
I think that was a special one-off for the greatest episode.
What a bunch of bullshit. I come here for the music, Michael. The composed score. All righty. Well, let's dive into it, buddy.
Well,
oh, it's there. The power of your beast. I hear it.
I was gonna say, well, they're not cutting to the suggested next at Disney Plus.
Oh my God, this is different than last week.
Wow.
I'm so happy with this. All right, but I'm ready to talk about it. I want to take a quick moment to thank today's sponsor, Acorns. I first heard about this investment app from Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Not directly, I just saw an ad for it. And I was like, let's try this out, because let's be real. Investing can feel like a daunting task. And many people, myself included, don't know where to start most of the time. I have many friends who invest, impart their wisdom to me, and I still get overwhelmed by the thought of it. Plus, there's this myth that you need a ton of money to get started. So with our busy lives, it's very easy to put off thinking about our financial future. And what's great about Acorns is it makes it easy to start automatically saving and investing for your future. Best part, you don't need a lot of money or expertise to start with Acorns. In fact, you can get started with just your spare change. Acorns recommends an expert-built portfolio that fits you and your money goals. Automatically invest your money for you. It's made investing super straightforward and stress-free. As someone who has been living off of commission for a very long time now, having something to invest in is very important in my life. The idea that small actions today can have a massive impact on your future really resonates with me. Because from Acorns, mighty oaks do grow. So grow your oak. But seriously, guys, give it a shot if you're interested. You can head to acorns.com/rejects or download the Acorns app to start saving and investing for your future today. Because we're dealing with finances, it's important for me to say this. Paid non-client endorsement. Compensation provides incentive to positively promote Acorns. Investing involves risk. Acorns Advisor LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. View important disclosures at acorns.com/rejects. All that being said, I do vouch for them. And so does Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Greg, have you ever heard of the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise?
I have. This is exactly how I wanted him introduced in the live action.
The tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise is that we met him officially, canonically, in live action in the season finale of The Acolyte.
Like a creepy animatronic is how it looks like.
You know, it's so interesting because I kind of, if it's okay, I want to split up my review into like two parts here.
I guess.
One is what?
I guess.
Okay. So part one is I want to talk about my feelings on the show as like a show. And then I want to talk about the lore a little bit because there are some really cool things that I want to talk about. And so I'm just going to get out my grumpiness really quick, and then I want to talk about the stuff that I actually really enjoyed lore-wise.
I think we're going to talk about, we should talk about Plagueis right away, though. That's the one thing I'm saying we got to do first. My one declaration.
Yeah. So, Plagueis. So, first off, super neat that he was there. Little creepy fingers.
I laughed when he showed it.
I was
the exact opposite reaction I ever thought I would ever have to see. I was like, is that him?
You know, it's so I don't think that he and the stranger are interfacing or that they're connected is my personal hunch.
He's just on that planet.
Yeah. Which like lines up with the Plagueis book. Like that all kind of checks the boxes of like some of the previous theories that we had. He's currently at this point training with his master. And it was kind of this like weird, like, oh, hey, wait, there's another Sith going on over there. It's just kind of like a funny, you know, I wonder if they're going to pull that thread any further or if that's it. My gut feels like that might just be it. But also I kind of love this idea of if we are going to go down that rabbit hole, if there is one thing that the rule of two is very, very important, particularly to that line of Sith. And if you have two wannabe Sith Lords running around at the same time that you have Plagueis and his master running around, you have an interesting plot thread for season 2. So really, really kind of curious. I'm pretty sure there's like timeline wise still like a significant period of time before Plagueis kills his master.
Dude,
and then,
spoilers for the spinoff.
Sorry,
spoilers, man.
I don't. We're not seeing that.
We need this. We have the spinoff we got to get to, dude.
I don't think we're ever seeing that in live action.
Yes, yes, we are. I will will it in like the wills. I will will it into existence, Michael.
Unless there's a vergence of the Force,
I'll make it happen, buddy.
But yeah, I still kind of maintain. I think that Osha and the Stranger are the origin of the Knights of Ren. And I think you kind of have this.
Thank
the
God.
Two paths. Thank God.
That's what I've been waiting for, man. I've been waiting for the origin of the Knights of Ren this entire time.
So you say that mockingly, but I actually have been waiting for the origins of the Knights of Ren, because when the trailer dropped Thanksgiving weekend, when the football game was going on for The Force Awakens, and it was like the Knights of Ren, I was like, I'm so excited.
Yeah.
They're gonna there's gonna be like a Sith version, the Jedi Order, and then they did nothing with it for 3 films except introduce a bunch of them to just get really quickly slaughtered. In episode 9. And
I trust Disney Star Wars to deliver properly.
Well,
on a Knights of Ren.
One must appreciate the Disney Star Wars model of, hey, we're going to introduce something, and then over the course of multiple years and several Disney Plus shows, retroactively try to explain that creative decision because there was zero thought put into it originally.
Well, speaking of creative decision, I just got to ask though, Michael, as we're going through these parts of yours, can we just talk about whether or not you actually like this episode?
I did not like this episode. I really wanted to. I want the world to know that. Like, from start to finish, I genuinely was rooting for the show. Like, I've done my level-headed best to be positive about this. And ultimately it comes down to just like none of the beats hit for me. There was great ideas and concepts and elements that were played with. I thought there were some really phenomenal actors, but none of it worked. And this episode kind of got to the heart of that, where it was like, not only was everything just more than just predictable, the pacing was like exhausting, and it just felt so just flat and disappointing. And I think that the challenge is that
I think if I can interject, I think one of the problems with the voice of this show is that it came across a little bit like more self-important than it actually is. It came across a little bit like look, we're freaking deep and heavy and dramatic. and I think it weirdly robs the show of a genuine sense of life behind it. And that was like, I think, the biggest downfall for the experience.
Yeah.
That being said, in this interjection, I actually had fun watching this finale. I did. I thought it was a fun finale.
And that's the thing, that each part of this, each episode of this show is kind of sprinkled with these wonderful moments of spectacle and these like little tiny tidbits that are like genuinely really enjoyable.
Yeah.
And for me, that might even be the most frustrating part of the show, is that those sprinkles, especially as we got closer and closer to the end, were just a reminder of the potential. And I think you put that so well, because it was almost like the show, without having developed the characters and kind of earned it with the audience, kind of elevated itself internally to like, we're this like premium elevated Star Wars series, and then just wasn't, but acted as though it was. And and even like last week, and like, yeah, the internet was a little hard on them, but like dropping the song at the end, like that was a decision that I think was made because
still makes me laugh.
I think they genuinely thought that that episode was gonna like break the internet.
Yeah.
And I think again, it's the most frustrating part is they had so many of the right general ideas and just very, very sloppy execution.
Well,
and
I think the difference between you and I, not between you, I'm not you and I, but the difference that I think we have when we're watching versus a lot of other people is that when stuff that comes up that's like corny or not well done happens, or there's like weird choice or bad, like we just laugh about it. Like we literally laugh about it. And I'm sure it affects you more than it affects me. Because I'm just like, that shit's hilarious, this song. The way they did Plagueis, that's funny. Like it's not a compliment to the creatives, because they're not intending for it to be funny, because they think they're like, the most important thing that's ever existed. But I feel like that's kind of what you have to do when you watch this show.
Yeah. And it's I empathize with the challenge of making Star Wars IP. Like it's a delicate balancing act of Star Wars means a lot of different things to different people.
Absolutely.
Like trying to create something that, like, for somebody that grew up during the prequel era or the original trilogy, you're talking to two very different audiences.
Yeah.
And I think that the challenge that this series had is that it didn't quite, I think, hit the mark for either of those buckets. And I think it was attempting, at least this was my impression of it, maybe I'm reading it wrong, but I think it was attempting to bring in a different audience that is not typically a Star Wars audience, or trying to maybe give those that are fans of Star Wars, who don't necessarily always have a lot of content that is geared towards them, just a little something more unique, which I appreciate that. I've always kind of said, I feel like one of my favorite parts about the franchise is that there's a little something for everybody, whether you're somebody that like loves the Clone Wars, or somebody that plays the games or reads the books or comics, like there is genuinely a piece for everybody when it comes to Star Wars. I think the challenge is,
so you appreciate intention.
Yeah, well, exactly. I don't think that there can be a world in which this giant franchise, it's a frickin' galaxy. In fact, now we've established at least 2 galaxies of stories that we can play in. There's more than enough room for us to have like really dark, gritty, like adult Star Wars, and then like kids content, and also like content that's skewed towards different demographics. There's more than enough room for everybody. I think the problem is this show, genuinely, I don't really know who it was meant for at the end of the day, and I don't think it ever really found that base. And in the process, I think it did a pretty good job at alienating, no pun intended, a lot of folks. And I think the challenge is that it gets to the heart, and I've said this before, there is no overarching creative vision for this franchise. It is just a churning out of content, and because there is no shared thematic voice, and because there is no concrete vision, the execution is always going to be inconsistent, and people are going to continue to be disappointed. And it doesn't matter, what they, you can have a good one-off here and there, but there was going to be this continued disappointment as time goes on.
What'd you think about Sol dying?
It sucks because I feel like the Sol's, at least this is what I took from it, Sol's continued rationalization of the situation made me not feel the way I think I was supposed to feel about his death. Like the way that he handled the conversation with Mae afterwards immediately. It didn't hit. There was no emotional impact for me, which is awful because the entire series, I have said Sol is my favorite character.
Yeah. And
then he dies and I feel nothing, which either makes me deeply emotionally damaged or means there's a problem with the show. And I'm going to go ahead and blame the show and not myself because that's easier, Greg.
Well, I'll say though that like I kept hoping, like genuinely hoping that they wouldn't kill him off. Even when he was being choked and everything, even though it was really obvious Osha was going to do it, I did have that voice in the back of my head and in my heart that was like, I'm kind of hoping that I'm really hoping they don't actually do it. So I was bummed. And I think the choice, like it makes sense that Osha would do it, but at the same time, it's like the way they got to that decision just felt a little bit.
It was so fast.
It was so fast. Like they didn't really make like a moment out of it. And
she had 2 episodes with the Stranger,
Osha's whole turn is like stupid. Like I hate the way it's handled. Like I hate the way Osha's turn is handled. I hate the way like how Osha and Mae are kind of just written in general.
And even Vanestra like writing him off in death, like. Which, like, fine, I get, but also, like, hear me out. Like, what if Osha started to force choke him, and then like crushed his vocal cords, but changed her mind, and then Sol was still held accountable and framed for all of this, and couldn't speak and couldn't like be honest about it, but had to like it could have been so much darker and worse and more powerful, and you could have done so much more with it, and you could come back with this character, who later could just sit in silence with Mae, and that whole memory wiping thing. I was just like, I don't know where I've seen that before, but I'm like, why is this so predictable? Why is this so,
that's one of the biggest problems with the show too. It's such a mystery show, but every theory and prediction, for the most part, like 99% of the time has come true. And so when they have these like reveal moments or turn moments, that the way the show treats it, other than like a casual throwaway line, like, hey, it's my former pupil, when he's talking to this person who doesn't have a memory, that is, it doesn't have an impact because they're like, well, yeah, we all suspected this, it's pretty obvious. Like a lot of the time it's obvious. And it's also the kind of thing that, you might hear, even if you're not the one who theorizes it, if you hear like a theory going around, and it's like, oh yeah, that's probably likely. It becomes like a most likely.
And listen, like let's give the benefit of the doubt of like the internet's a big place. There's going to be a theory for everything. I think the challenge is these were really on the nose, right?
Yeah.
Like,
it's the biggest problem.
I mean, Vanestra being the master to the Stranger was like, like that was. that was such low-hanging fruit. I just and to your point, when we met that senator,
he was like, a great addition. Shit, that would have been amazing.
Some kind of stakes or context, and because that was something that I was just like trying to find what's the freaking oomph here, because you're painting the Jedi as evil, that's what they're doing. And I understand what they were getting at, but you have to contextualize it with the politics of like the whole Jedi Order is at risk. Like the whole system falls apart if the truth comes out. And it puts the audience into an interesting spot where they're in the moral quandary of having that debate themselves of what would they do. And instead of allowing that to happen, we literally watch them like commit some atrocious acts. There was no actual moral quandary. It was pretty clear that what the Jedi did was atrocious. The cover-up had zero stakes. And then by the time that there was any kind of like political element or any kind of thing that would make us really empathize or agree with the Jedi, Vanestra then turns around and does it again, but somehow even worse.
Yeah.
And then we make Yoda potentially complicit in it, which somehow is like,
that would honestly like not be. I would probably laugh at it at first, and then I would be upset at it if they did. That.
I mean, that's why the internet was fuming about the Kiadi Mundi piece. Not only did they change his birth date, which like whatever, like I can live with that. But like to make it so that he was privy to the fact that like somehow the Sith returned, even though he was in the Jedi High Council at the time during the Phantom Menace, when he's like, well, what do you mean? The Sith haven't been around in 1,000 years,
And she dressed him as master, and for that to come in. And for Yoda to have trained like this downline of this like awful Jedi, it's kind of crazy.
No, you begin to be like, is the real villain here Yoda? The track record ain't great.
Awful. Yeah.
So it becomes this sort of challenging. Listen, I think it's okay to play around with the principle of what the Jedi are. And listen, like the sequel trilogy played around with this. It's like when Luke tried getting rid of the books and all that, the institution of the Jedi in many ways runs counter to what the Jedi represent. And I think this would have been a really interesting opportunity to play around with how did the Jedi Order end up in the debacle that they were in by the time of the prequels?
Yeah.
And instead, we just end up with wow, this is just amateur hour. They're just doing war crimes and cover-ups and meanwhile the senator who's a jerk who comes in is like, hey, I don't mean to be a conspiracy theorist at all, but what happens if one day one of you decides to turn to the dark side, kill all the other Jedi, and then overthrow our democratically elected government and turn it into an empire? He kind of spot on predicted exactly what was going to happen.
Yeah.
Now granted, that's what the writers were intending, but the point being is that this show drove me crazy in that there was so much potential. I personally, just kind of understanding the viewership numbers and the cost for the series, have a hard time imagining them getting a second season, at least with their current budget, or it being matched as it is now.
They would probably have to get some kick-ass showrunner, some some name behind it to get people excited if they were gonna do it.
I personally, I would, if I were them, I would come up with a new name to remove the baggage, and I would bring in a different showrunner and some really quality writers, and continue part of that story. But I'm also make it a book. God, I'm gonna get so much hate for that, but yeah. I just, it's I guess it's frustrating for me, and I know you feel the same way. So I'm a producer, that's what I do. It's tough at a moment in our industry when there are so few things getting greenlit and going up, and you see a show that receives such a large budget, and you think about all the amazing series that could be made if you were to just take this budget and split it up and like send it out to a bunch of great creatives that can work on a tighter, smaller budget. And it's hard for me to justify it when it's not really doing anything that is innovative or pushing the creative limits. And like, yes, did I absolutely love watching a lightsaber kyber crystal bleed in real time? Absolutely.
That's cool.
Like, did I enjoy watching a Wookiee lightsaber battle? Yeah, absolutely. But like, do I think that it's like worthy of the mantle of Star Wars and worthy of the budget? No, I don't. No. And if they've got something that is, let's go for it. Let's do it. But like, what made Star Wars the original and the prequels, for all their faults and even the animated series, like what made all of these things so special? It wasn't that they were perfect. It's that they pushed the creative limits. They did something different that hadn't been done before, and they weren't scared to try something new. And I think my challenge with this is that there was nothing innovative or interesting about what was being done here. The creative risks were wholly predictable, which means they weren't very risky. And in terms of the technology, in terms of there was nothing that had that edge to it. And at the end of the day, like, what makes Star Wars so special is just that. And it's why I love this franchise. It's why so many filmmakers were inspired to get into the craft. But I can't believe that there is any like young filmmaker that's going to watch The Acolyte and at the end be like, I want to make movies, I want to make TV. And I think that's the mandate is, if you want to make Star Wars, make something that's going to inspire the next generation of storytellers.
I will say it is the first Star Wars show that feels the least lived in. Like it feels small and not in a complimentary way. And that's where I think that's what ultimately lends things that when you hear the complaints of things feeling like cosplay and stuff is because of that. Like it actually doesn't feel lived in. There's something that feels like artificial about it. And you can't do that with Star Wars. That's the whole point of escaping into the galaxy far, far away. And they really missed the mark on that. And I like the fight scenes, though, a lot. I like the fights a lot. I feel like that's where, like, their most that was, like, the one thing they really nailed down was let's do fights that are as good or second best to the prequels, Yeah. And I think that was, like, their best thing that a lot of people would confidently subscribe to.
Yeah. And hey, if they do get a season 2, I'm hopeful that, they hear this as like a loving critique. And I hope that like
they won't.
It gets better. No, probably not. But I think that's also a culture shift that needs to happen of like fans push back. It doesn't necessarily mean that like you should shut them out from the conversation. I think it means that you should listen, because somewhere between all of the BS and the hate mail are some really valid concerns and criticism.
Of course.
And in the love that they received, and there is people that genuinely enjoyed the show, there's some really great strengths that they should continue to lean on. And I hope that if this does get a second season, that they do just that. In the meantime, Greg, with whatever Star Wars content comes next, I will do my best to maintain my positivity and to be a force of good and kindness and joy. But to all of those who joined us on this journey,
thank you.
For the hate mail, for the death threats, for calling us shills and soy boys and all the other fun things. No, genuinely, there's a lot of passion in this one. And, for all the feelings, it says something about Star Wars that we care enough to even take the time out of our day to watch it and to write about it. And thanks for going on the ride with us. And,
thank you.
Greg, thanks for taking me along. It's always a pleasure to be your co-pilot.
Amen to that, brother. Anywho, we'll see you guys for the Mandalorian movie. I know who Landon Miller really is.
Who's Landon Miller really?
I want you to do some detective work here.
Okay.
Without giving away his full email.
Okay.
What's the first part of his email?
Okay. Do you want me to answer this out loud or just note it to myself? It's a T.
Okay, T. And then what's his last name?
Miller. It's
Tim
J. Miller. Tim Miller. Effects extraordinaire. Tim Miller.
It's Tim Miller, and he's hiding here in plain sight.
Dude.
Like, why would his email start with a T, but then his username start with Landon?
Is that even a real name?
But he kind of wants to be discovered, so he put his real surname in there.
Yeah, people, I mean, if you're going to that degree of, puzzle making, you want to be recognized for it.
We won't turn our back on Ryan Reynolds. He's brought us Wolverine again.
Yeah.
So despite whatever problems you've had with him in the past, that all can go straight down the pipes because we are here to support Ryan. You selfish bastard showing up in our Patreon.
What do you think? We're going to give Terminator Dark Fate a better review now?
Oh, hell no. No, you ruined John Connor.
Never.
You ruined John Connor.
You specifically. That it was going so well until you showed up with that sequel.
We had Nick Kroll, who's the guy in the third one, doesn't matter. And then we had and then we had John Clark, what's his name?
We had Jason Clark.
Jason Clark.
We had Christian Bale.
Oh my God, I forgot about that one. They were all great.
They were great
you showed up.
You had to go and rub your face all over it.
Or it could be T.J. Miller.
It could be T.J. Miller.
Get what you were going
Another
with that.
Deadpool.
Another guy who's had a falling out with
Ryan Reynolds.
What's with the T. Millers having
all
fallouts
of
with
the
Ryan
T.
Millers?
Millers. Hey, they
that's
could
why
form
he
a
went
clan.
by Landon, because he sees that there's a consistency of being a Tim Miller. You will be excused from coming on to a Deadpool film.
Exactly.
And so he wanted to hide behind this identity because he thinks he might get into a Deadpool film.
Yeah, he's like, maybe if I change my name a little bit, but still use a different director's name.
Disgusting. You should be proud of yourself.
You should be proud
Did
of
Michael
your
B.
sick,
Jordan
disgusting...
change his name? Or did everyone start showing up to Creed because they thought legendary basketball player was starring in the new Rocky franchise?
He's going to do the stretchy arm again, but for a punch this time. That would have been cool, though.
That would have been cool.
Actually. Tim Miller, if you could get Michael Jordan to do a Creed sequel, I think that would be the moneyest. Just leak the footage. Just do like a Deadpool all over again. Just film a proof of concept with Michael B. Jordan versus Michael Jordan. And then, think of all the merchandising. Then you could do a Creed Space Jam crossover. So many sneakers you could sell, branded gloves and whatnot.
So true, John.
Dude.
So true.
All the Millers, keep it up.
All right. We did it.
We did it. We love you.